Hi, my name is V. N. Alok, and in this video, I'll be talking about intergovernmental fiscal transfers in federations, or what, why, and how of fiscal federalism. As you know, the money is a glue that keeps the entire federations together. So money is very, very important. Many economists have written very extensively on fiscal federalisms. The prominent among them are Richard Musgrave and Wallace Oates. For the moment, let's keep the book aside and talk common sense. So the common sense says that whenever you have two or more orders of government, then certain kind of responsibilities have been assigned to various orders of government. That's through the constitutions. It's in most federations. So there could be four pillars that one can think of. These four pillars, one is the expenditure assignment, second is the revenue assignment, third would be intergovernmental fiscal transfers. Because there would be a mismatch between a revenue assignment and expenditure assignment. So intergovernmental fiscal transfers that take place. Whenever the intergovernmental fiscal transfer takes place, one level of government does not really trust the other level of government. So the institutions, what are those institutions which really matters? So these four pillars: expenditure assignment, revenue assignment, intergovernmental fiscal transfers, and institutions. Expenditure assignment, there is a pattern in most federations. One can think of that the defense, for example, that typically belongs to the federal government. The printing of currencies, that also belongs to federal government. Through their central banks, they print the currencies. Interstate commerce, it again belongs to federal government. External trade, that also belongs to the federal government. Civil aviations, railways, mostly in a federation that belongs to federal government. The subnational government, in most federations, they have been assigned the responsibility of law and order, primary educations, the primary health cares, so on and so forth. If it is a third tier that's there in federations, they have been assigned the responsibility of solid waste management, street lights, parks, issuance of death certificate and birth certificates. So these are some of these patterns that you can find in most federations. At the moment, we are not getting into that which level of government should decide the rules, which level of government will be deciding the administrations of this. But let's talk about that which orders of government have been assigned what kind of responsibilities. When they have been assigned certain kind of responsibilities, they also been assigned the revenue collections powers. Typically, in most federations, the custom duty or the tax on imports, that belongs to the federal government. Similarly, the personal income tax and corporate income tax, that also belongs to the federal government. The GST or the value added tax or the sales tax, then you can find that the federal government and the state government, they are sharing the responsibilities. So because these are the commodity taxes, and this is also being called a tax on consumptions, so that the practice varies from one federation to another federations. The local government, in most federations, they have been assigned the responsibility of property taxations. What happens when you assigned responsibilities? You also assigned revenue collections powers. There would be a mismatch. There will be a centralization of revenue collections and decentralization of responsibilities. So the federal government, they transfer resources vertically to the state governments. Since all states are not the same, there would be a mismatch. The population of one state is high, the area of one state is very, very high, the infrastructure they are deficient. There are fiscal disability factors because of the hilly areas and other things. So there would be a mismatch. So this horizontal imbalances, that is also the goal of the intergovernmental fiscal transfers mechanisms. There are other goals of intergovernmental fiscal transfers mechanisms. The national goals has to be achieved at the local level. The infrastructure deficiencies, that is also need to be addressed through the intergovernmental fiscal transfers mechanisms. Whenever this kind of transfers takes place, there are various negative perceptions about most governments. The federal government thinks that we are giving money to the state government is like giving a whiskey bottle and a car keys to teenagers. They do not know how to drive, which means they will be squandering this money. Okay, that is the perceptions. The state government says that they need more and more money to demonstrate that money does not really matter anything. The citizen down the line, they feel the money is coming, the money is going, and we are getting nothing out of this. So there are various statements on this by politicians. Because of this mistrust, there are institutions, and one can think about these institutions could be in four groupings. One is the agencies. One of the ministries of the central government, they have been assigned the responsibility to transfer resources to the states or the subnational governments. The second, that is the case there in Brazil, the Senate itself decides how much money is to be transferred to the states. The third is the intergovernmental forums. These intergovernmental forums are these forums in this the officers of the federal government and the officers of the state governments or the ministers of the federal government and the ministers of the state governments, they meet periodically and they decide how much is to be transferred to which levels of government. This is the case like the Stability Councils, they are in Germany, the Fiscal Arrangements Committee, they are in Canada. So various federations one can find these kind of forums. The fourth, which is very, very important, is the impartial institutions. These impartial institutions, generally the experts, those are being considered an experts by the federal government and state government. They are members and they decide how much money is to be transferred to which orders of government. The examples of this, the first and the foremost is the Commonwealth Grant Commission there in Australia. It's about 100 years ago, 1933, the Western Australia, they threatened to secede. They said, we don't really believe the way you transfer resources. So Commonwealth Grant Commission was created and it has about 9 members. The federal government decides some membership, the state government decides some membership. The local governments association, they also decide certain kinds of membership there. Fiscal and financial commissions, the membership has been changing over a period of time, and again on the lines of the Commonwealth Grant Commissions, the federal government, the state government and the local government association, they decide certain kind of memberships of these commissions. On the same lines in India, there is the finance commissions, the 15 finance commissions they are in place in India, and there are 5 membership. The chairman of these commissions is of a cabinet minister rank and the rest of the members are economists, person from law and the person from public administrations. So likewise, these institutions, they decide about the intergovernmental fiscal transfer systems.